Hey, welcome back. My name is Stephen and I'm the man with the hat. Just in case you've not been here before, I like to share my hobbies with people like you. And they're mainly mudlarking, which I can do in the summer mainly, in the rivers not far away from me, or in the stinky mud of the London Thames foreshore, but also mainly metal detecting. This is where I find most of my stuff and the main reason why people come to my channel. And I like to try and take the things that I find for my third hobby. Anything I find, I try and upcycle to try and create something that you can wear. In the first part of this video coming up, you will see this is a well searched out piece of land, and it took me 4 hours and 5 minutes to get 5 signals. But signal number 2 and signal number 3 gave me a lovely surprise, and I want to share this and the other 2 sections of the video too with you. Let me know what you think, leave a comment. If you've not subscribed yet, maybe you'll decide to do so after the video. Well, here I am again in a wonderful scenery. Just been given a new permission to dig in this woodland and some adjoining pastures. We had a little test dig last week, and in about 40 minutes we brought up half a dozen coins, a very nice button, and a few other bits and pieces, including some junk of course. But I'm back today, and what a glorious day it is. There's lovely wildlife around, a stream behind the camera, and if I find anything interesting today, in fact if I find anything at all, I'll bring it back and show you on video. But I think I'm going to be spending most of my time just admiring the scenery today. Well, this one doesn't sound brilliant, but I'm going to dig it. Just a piece of scrap tin. But there you go. That sounds nice. I've got to dig it. It's just not quite right, but I've got to dig it. Now, I wonder what this one could be. I've just had a Georgia 5th penny. That was off camera. Oh, look at that. That looks like possibly an old torch. Didn't think it sounded quite right. Well, I've probably been going now for something like an hour and a half. Nothing really has come up apart from a few decimal pennies, but I've just found that. And that is an old pre-decimal 2D, in other words, penny token. So it's a 2 penny token. I haven't been able to read that yet, but it's got Keithley on it that I can see, so it's a local token. I'm just going to have a look at that in a minute and see if I can work out more of the legend on there, but that's nice. Well, shortly after that token came up, I decided to call it a day as nothing else was really happening. Next morning I drove over to the coast, but I knew there wasn't much land available apart from one little strip and a piece of pasture. I also knew that the signals were very few and far between, and I would need to work very hard to find anything at all. Remarkably, it only took me 5 minutes to get my first signal, but it turned out to be junk. Because it was hard going, I decided to switch my days over to the Ultimate program. I'll put a link to the video for that program in this video's description. And then listen to the quality of that tone. Woohoo! Second hole. Well, look at this. William the Third. Shilling. So I'm happy with that. Let's get going and see how long it takes me till I get the next signal. It's showing 70. Let's see what it is, shall we? Okay, it's not much. It wasn't very deep, but it was quiet. It is so fragile. I haven't yet ID'd it, but it's a broken hammy. I'm lucky today because I'm finding some good stuff when I find anything at all. So this is 3.5 hours almost. And it's just like this all the time until just occasionally you'll get a squeak. Oh boy, this is tiring. I've just been over the entire field zigzagging as I go. It's now 1:05, so this is now 3 hours 5 minutes, and I've only had 5 signals. You've seen the second and the third, the 2 coins, broken, the willy and the broken hammered. The fourth was a piece of junk, and I've just got back to the car and I get that up. You might be able to see that it's either a George the Second or George the Fourth. I'm not sure which. It's probably more likely to be George the Second. I don't know why I say that even. So 3 coins, all different, 2 silver. The signals, as I've said, are very few and far between. You tend to lose a bit of concentration every now and again, but finding that William second signal just kept my spirits high, and that wasn't far from the car when I first started. I get back to the car and find my 3rd coin. And look at that tiny little thing. So let's have a look. Look, it looks big through the camera, but it's not. Look at the size of my fingers. So look at that. I doubt if it's real, you know, a real gemstone, probably only paste or something like that, but I found it because of the metal bit on the back. Well, I carried on searching for another hour, but I didn't find anything else. This is the day after, and this morning I noticed this field had been cut. It was cut yesterday as I drove past. My landowner was cutting the silage off and baling it up and taking it away, so I thought this is where it'll come. I'm going to be starting with a cake break, and this one is one my mother made for me, which is chocolate with a peppermint filling. Yummy it is too. So, in your cake hole. Right, let's get this turned on. There we go, and we'll leave the sound on so you can hear some signals today. So just press that one in the middle. Yes. Now I'm on Ultimate 3. That is Gary Blackwell's Ultimate 3 tones. That's the one with the breaker tone in there. So I think I'll probably start with that one. But just to show you, that one in number 12 is my Ultimate. It's Gary's program, but I've changed the 3 tones to full tones. I just happen to like that one. Technically speaking, it's a different program altogether, and it's not ultimate if it's on full tones, but to me that's what I've called it, because it's based entirely on Gary's program, except I've put it on full tones and not 3. I like that. I like the way it works, I like the way it sounds, but today I'm going to start off with Gary Blackwell's Ultimate 3 and see if I can pick up something. I'm also going to work a bit deeper today. I'm going to work on 4 hertz to start with. Discrimination, I'm going to just knock down to 1. Sensitivity, 85. And let's see what happens. Here we go, 5 minutes in, first signal. showing 81, 83. Oh, it's a bit jumpy. Not the best signal in the world, but I think we have to dig that. Right. As I said, it's not a very good quality signal, but it is a signal. I know this permission quite well, and there is a lot of junk on here. So, we'll need to see. Is it in plug, or is it in the hole? Still in the hole? Oh, hang on. Oh, what's that? You can see, look, there's a thread. So that is not that old. Don't know what it is, but it's modern. Now that one sounds very nice, but I bet it's rubbish. Right, there it goes. Now, I guess when you look at that, when it first comes out of the ground, bearing in mind I've cleaned it now, you would just put it in your scrap bag as being an identifiable piece of copper. I would do, until I turned it over. And then I saw those marks on it. Now, that I believe is a strap end. If you look at that end there, I think that probably gives it away, because there's a rivet there as well. Can you see that rivet in the top corner? And there was one there. So I think that is part of a decorative strap end. What is a strap end? Some people ask me. Simply, it's the end of a strap. We're getting there. A little bit of history in the hole. Well, that was a really good 2.5 days hunting on pieces of land that I knew were virtually dug out. They're not going to surrender anything else without a lot of effort. And I think possibly it's the lack of effort in our hobby that makes people say, oh, the field's dead, there's nothing else there. If it's the only permissions you've got, then you have to keep going. And there are several detectorists on YouTube you'll find who just keep going back and keep finding things. Now, on the first one, that was virtually dug out, but it does get turned over every 3 or 4 years, so it could reveal something else, as it did. That William milled coin, silver, and the Elizabeth broken hammered, that obviously took a long time to be revealed, and they both came up on the same afternoon, which is good. And then the other piece of land, you know, the Saxon, which I've still got here. That's a beautiful piece of Saxon artifact, which has been laying there waiting for me to find it all this time. And you could see that I was using the Ultimate, which is Gary's original 3-tones Ultimate. And I switched also then to my version of Gary's Ultimate, simply by changing from his 3 tones to full tones, because I like to listen to full tones. So if you think you've got some land which is completely dug out, maybe you should just try the Ultimate and give it another go. You never know. Anyway, if you enjoyed that video and you would like to get hold of some of my posters, which are just there, too late for Christmas now I think, then you've got a freebie coming with it as well, which are the English kings and queens, showing your hammered coins and how you can identify your Romans and your hammers. And if you're not lucky enough yet to have found a Roman silver or any Roman coin, or indeed a hammered, they will certainly come in handy when you do. So thanks for being with me. Have a really good Christmas and a festive period. Enjoy these strange times with friends and family if we possibly can. And I'll see you in the new year.